1791, coupe tête, boule caille. Grenadier à l'assaut, ça qui mourit à fait, ayo, nan pren maman, nan pren papa, ça qui mourit à fait, ayo. We don't take prisoners. You're welcome. Pa gen rien pou n'diskite, c'est seulement chet nou kap pale. Oh, how the tables have turned. It's your turn to be a slave to this machete, a slave to the idea of us returning to captivity. Nou prêt pou goumen, nou prêt pou bataille, nou pa nan jouet, na pete piyay. Whiteness, your shelter, your solace, but we're taking her down. What will you do when she's burnt to the ground? Mwen rele Bermina, Marseille, Chery, and I am a first-generation Haitian American raised in Mattapan, the often neglected corridor of Boston, where Haitians occupy every block. Mattapan is Haiti away from Haiti. Thus, my cultural roots never evaded me. It's present every morning when my father blasts a Haitian news station on the radio. It makes an appearance on a scorching hot summer day at the barbershop, where many of the patrons enter already bald. That's suspicious. Simply there to debate Haitian politics, they passionately scream over each other just to get their point across. It's most apparent when I'm walking down Morton Street with my grandfather and everybody stops to say hi to him, because every Haitian knows Bosse Man. I was conditioned to be fiercely Haitian. So much so that at the age of 2 years old, under the bright rays of the May sunshine, I was prancing down my street in a Haitian flag matching set on my way to the Flag Day parade. I was chanting with absolute conviction, "Koten pou ale, Haiti, koten sorti, Haiti." This translates to, where are we going? Haiti. Where are we from? Haiti. We were not, in fact, going to Haiti. We were actually going to Blue Hill Lab to watch the floats pass by. And I, in my meager 2 years of life, had never set foot on Haitian soil. But those on the floats saw that I was so fired up, they physically picked me up and brought me onto the floats with them to celebrate, much to the utter shock and dismay of my father. At that moment, they saw Haiti in me, which was only possible because of Haitian immigration to Boston. However, this begs the question, why leave Haiti to come to the United States? However, to answer this question, we must first back up. Remember that poem that I started this talk off with? It's a call for revolution. Nous avons osé être libres. Osons l'être par nous-mêmes et pour nous-mêmes. We have dared to be free. Let us be thus by ourselves and for ourselves. These words were boldly proclaimed by General Jean-Jacques Dessalines after a 13-year fight led by the enslaved population against the French. In an unprecedented victory, the Haitians relinquished themselves from the clutches of the French colonial enterprise, cementing themselves as the first nation in the world to abolish slavery. Talk to him. The mere existence of Haiti as an independent Black nation posed a direct threat to colonial powers and slavery. So, they retaliated. They restricted Haiti's access to global markets, refused to acknowledge its sovereignty, and most notably, France forced Haitians to pay $21 billion in reparations to their enslavers, which severely crippled the emerging nation's economy. What's crazier is that the US would continue these degrading interferences well into the 20th and 21st centuries, fostering a long-term destabilization of the Haitian social, political, and economic climate. Their actions have never allowed Haitians to be by themselves. Thus, these colonial powers, Western powers, particularly America and France, are implicated in the nation's stunted growth. Yet, even today, considering these long centuries of offenses, Haitians still leave Haiti to live in America and France. So how does the Haitian immigrant reconcile this seemingly contradictory reality? Some may determine that it's a case of Stockholm Syndrome. Others may argue that they are hypocrites abandoning their country, leaving it to fend for itself so that they can benefit from coloniality. Some may even go so far as to say that they are falling short of embodying Dessalines' proclamation for us to be by ourselves and for ourselves. I offer an alternative perspective. Haitians occupy a state of in-between in which they can never fully be whole, not in Haiti nor a Western nation. Thus, when they leave their country to go to Western nations, this is not an escape from the fight for prosperity for their own nation. It's an act of resistance in its own right. I personally know this to be the case because it was barely possible for Haitians born in America to feel whole. We were demonized, and attacks ranged from disparaging comments to physical altercations. It was cool and exotic to be from Jamaica or Puerto Rico. But we were dirty, poor, ugly. With these disparaging remarks, the pride that I once firmly grasped as a toddler dissipated. And in its wake, a deep shame took root. Today, Haiti is facing unprecedented gang violence and instability, contextualized by a history of Western interference. This has led to an accelerated influx of Haitian immigration to the United States, to places like Springfield, Ohio, where they were falsely accused of eating their neighbors' pets, dogs, and cats, to Colorado, where working conditions were so brutal. And they now face deportation. Thus, it's evident that whether in Port-au-Prince or Boston, Haitians can never escape the discrimination and bigotry at the hands of the West. So to those who argue hypocrisy, I ask you, are Haitians not owed stability? Should they not seek it out? Haiti made the US and France possible. Thus, it's not only rightful that they reap the benefits of these countries on the soil and not be called selfish for it. It's a revolutionary act, an evolved marinage. Marinage is the act of enslaved people running away to remote places, hidden and inaccessible, to cultivate thriving communities amongst themselves. I propose that Haitians are they're engaging in an evolved form of marinage in which they're cultivating these communities within rather than away from colonial spaces. And when they infiltrate their oppressors' spaces and they stand in solidarity with each other, they increase their possibilities for economic opportunities and liberation. Thus, migration becomes a tool for liberation. This evidently becomes the case as we see they're able to amass economic opportunities and donate resources that they accumulate whilst they're in these Western nations to send back home. I remember as a kid, my mom would collect and gather all of our toys and clothes and shoes that no longer fit us. And she would give them to our neighbor, Gomadam, who would then put them in a thing called a doom. It's a big blue barrel. And Gomadam would send them to Haiti and donate them to Haitian vendors. Even to this day, my mother assumes her position every month at the kitchen table, calculating and parceling out the money to give to each and every single one of her loved ones that are still on the island. This has always shown to me that her success stateside has always been a bigger project, more than just herself. And this is the case for all Haitian immigrants. But this is not the only benefit that we get from evolved marinage. In fact, evolved marinage allows for Haitian immigrants to infiltrate political spaces in order to open up the scope to Haitian advancement. Haitian immigrants and their descendants knowing the intricacies of Haiti and the context and its history, can use that and assume political positions centering Haiti from within the West. However, some of you may say, oh, that's great and all, in theory. However, Bermina, the West accumulates extensive benefits from immigration. Let's go back to Springfield, Ohio. The Haitian migrants who went to Springfield, Ohio, single-handedly revitalized the economy. So how can this be a revolutionary act? How can evolved marinage be a form of resistance? And to that I say, it is only one solution in a more holistic fight for Haiti. It's one possibility, but it is not the only one. And this is evidenced by the Canal La Pape Campé movement that is happening in Haiti right now. KPK is a movement in which Haitians on the ground are building canals in order to strengthen farming practices. This alone would re-bolster domestic rice production, which was destabilized by the United States in the 1980s. And this movement has been successful because of those Haitians, native-born Haitians working on the ground, organizing materials, finding specialists to build the canals, and coming together to mobilize for this one cause. However, it hasn't only been successful because of this one other form of resistance. It's also has been successful because of evolved marinage. Much of the funding that the movement has received has come from the diaspora. Now I move to this iconic statue entitled Neg Mawo, or the Black Maroon. Stationed in Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, it is a staple for Black liberation. It represents Black people having and will continue to take their own conditions into their own hands and no matter what the risks, fight for better opportunities for themselves. However, the Negmawan is not a relic of the past. In fact, we see it crop up in the Haitians that moved to Boston, in the Haitians that moved to Paris, in the Haitians that moved to Montreal, Miami, and New York. But also, the Negmawan and this is not just resolved to or restricted to the Haitian immigrant condition. Refugees and immigrants don't want or wish to move, pack up their entire lives, uprooted, to move to countries from without where they will suffer harm. They do it out of necessity. So it is up to us to work as a community in contingence with these immigrant communities to make sure that their permanent settlement in places that are not their homeland is not a necessity, but rather an option. Viva Haiti.